Welcome to Quark's Bar, everyone. All sales are final. We do not offer refunds. Keep your hands off my Dabo girls. And if Morn is here, buy him a drink. All right. All right, everyone. Thank you very much for coming in. I am NB Geek, and we are going to talk tonight Star Trek's Lower Decks, Episode 2. I think it was called Envoy. And I have as always, I have a spectacular panel of people. I have the always popular on Twitter, a man in his own right, Jack Beers.
The man, the
Hello.
myth, the legend.
Oh, no. That's reserved for you. I have on the bottom side over here. There you go. I have the man, the myth, the culinary legend, Chef Zilla.
You know, I like a little head with my beer.
And to my this
Ooh.
side, or this side, depending on how my fingers go and how my camera looks, we have the very awesome, very kind, very calming. I mean, this guy could definitely help you relax just reading the phone book. Positive candor. I mean, and I'm not saying that as he's boring. I'm saying he has a calming voice.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Oh,
Okay. All right, folks. All right, we're gonna get on here. Let's look at the chat a little bit here. If anybody can help me, Darth Haster, great to see you. Captain Trek, Purple Valkyrie, always love having you all on here. Okay, folks. Jack, I know you've been with me for the Lower Decks and Chef with the trailer, with episode 1. I'm gonna say this. I think we were nice with the trailer. I think we were even PG, maybe PG-13 with the first episode. Fuck that shit. It's hard R now. Jack, I saw you on Twitter when you showed him literally with his pants down. I'm like, okay, yeah, we're leading with that. Jack,
Yeah.
I want everybody's impression. Jack, I want to start with you. Chef, you, Positive Candor, you, and then I'll end off on, our opinions of that. But just let's get the intro out of the way. Jack, man, come on. Tell me what you thought. I saw it on Twitter. Tell me.
So yeah, they found another way to embarrass his Boimler character. It seems like every episode is going to be the same, to where Boimler's going to get Mariner's going to get Boimler in trouble, and then Mariner's going to get Boimler out of trouble. Is what it seems like these episodes are going to be about. I have to open my beer. Yeah, I need more tribbles. I just need more tribbles because the Jamaharo thing. First of all, I wanted to talk about that real quick. I went to the Picard Pop-Up Museum when it came to Comic-Con a few years ago, and they actually had the statue. Now let me go ahead and do the share screen thing real quick.
The Horgon, is it Horgon?
Horgon, yeah.
Yeah, Horgon.
Yeah. And let me see. How do I do this?
I don't.
Man.
We're doing share screen. Let me see.
You
should just click
know.
on it, right? I've never shared screen before, so
I've never shared screen either. I don't know how to share. Oh, okay. Well, hold on a second. Here we go. Let's see. Let me cancel mine. Hey guys, there we go. Okay. Well, it happened.
Let me try one more time.
Yeah, let's try one more time. We
All right.
Performance issues, people.
it's what the little blue pill is for.
Add the stream. Okay, there we go.
Awesome.
Oh,
All right. Let's go here.
into infinity.
So that's what I want to show.
Yeah.
It's yeah. So that's the Horgon that was on was in the Next Generation, and so what they use that for is the display that thing out in the open, and people, I guess that's a sign that you're looking for Geronimo, which is, I guess, sex. But he didn't have a statue. He didn't display a statue. And let's go back to this. Yeah, he didn't display a statue or have one. There was a big statue that he was sitting
Yeah,
in
that was
by.
the thing that threw me off. Yeah, and I'm sorry to interrupt, but I'm gonna say it. Yeah, that threw me for a loop. I'm like, wait a minute. I know for a fact we're not on Risa. And
Right.
look, Jamhashran. Okay, let's be honest, folks. You're basically putting up a sign, and any man will tell you this. You put up a sign, you want to get laid. That's what the freaking thing is about. You want to get laid on a planet of people who will lay you.
Right.
You want to get fucked. It's like basically, free sex without the judgment.
Yes.
I mean, it's a porn person's paradise.
Yes. In fact, Curzon Dax died
from Jamhashra.
Yes, out of strain. They had to take the Dax symbiote out and give it to Jetsia.
I like that, Little Risa.
Little Risa. It was like a colony. I think it was like a Risa colony.
It looked like they had a couple. We find out Curzon got fucked to death.
Yes. Or he was kind of an old man already, so I just think he couldn't take the strain.
For Bird of Prey, there you go, brother.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Jack, continue.
But yeah, so that was one of the things that really bothered me. Once again, the layman speak, the 2020 vernacular survives. They make it to like an Endorian bar or something like that, and Boimler gets himself in trouble, and then Mariner stands on the table and he's like, "Hello, alien people," and it was just like, it was the stupidest thing.
Because she's an alien.
Yes, she's an alien on that world. You know what I mean?
A species would have made more sense.
Yeah, it was dumb. Another thing that bothered me was the Ferengi that they had in it. Something was wrong with his freaking ears. Okay, something was wrong with those lobes. And yes, I'll get to the monocle in a minute. But something was wrong with his ears. Like his lobes were like too low, or like they were too small. I don't really know. But that was another thing. Like Mariner, she knows everybody. She knows like all the hookups. Like, why is she in Starfleet?
You know, to kind of cut in, I will say the one smirk that I got out of the entire episode was Boimler's joke about Mariner. He's like, "Aren't we the same age?" Because she keeps talking about how she's been on 5 ships. She did gray ops with the Klingon envoy that they're taking around. But he goes, "Wait a minute, we're the same age." So how is she
all right, hey,
done
Jack,
all of this?
Let's go ahead and let's go ahead. This is a good transition over. Chef, give us your thoughts on your impression of this episode.
So I'm going to take a slightly different tack here. I have to say that episode 2 was better than episode 1. Now I'm going to put better in air quotes because it still wasn't very good. Once again, I still don't know if the series is supposed to be funny, if it's supposed to be a parody, a satire. None of the jokes land. Like I said, I smirked once during the Boimler joke, but the one thing that I really did like about this episode was Rutherford's storyline. We find out that Rutherford is great in engineering. He spent a week in the Jeffrey tubes, cleaning everything up and doing maintenance. But so because he wants to have a date with Tandy, he's going to change departments. And his boss is talking out, his chief engineer is talking about what a great job he is and how the department wouldn't run as well without him. And then that's when Rutherford says, I want to go to, I think he says he wants to go to medical. And
No,
the
he
joke of
says
the
he wants to explore other
he
options.
he wants to transfer. And we get you want to what? Well, that's great. And we see this side of of Trek that we haven't actually seen before, in that someone is willing to approve, appreciate, and support someone that wants to change positions. So we see Rutherford go.
Hold on a second, Chef. I only want to interrupt you just for a second because I want to point out that's where I giggled. That was my giggle in the whole episode. I was like, yes, this I can actually get behind, as you and I both know. As anybody who's military, when you talk about wanting to transfer to another unit, especially when you're good at what you do, and they're supportive of you. Yeah, that whole background thing. I was like, yeah, that is the one part that gave me the giggle, where it's like, yeah, I can get behind that portion of that episode.
Yeah, and
for a
I actually,
damn second.
Yeah, and that was where it ended. But even when we saw him, he goes to medical, where he doesn't do very good. Then we see him in security, and I think security was the funniest part, because so far, really, my favorite character is the chief of security, the Bajoran, who is more Klingon than Bajoran. But when he says, welcome to the bear pit, and calls Rutherford a bear, and we see now, and this is where I kind of shake my head and go, I think they're mocking us, because we see Rutherford pluck an eye out of one of the Borg. And, every one of us has had an issue with the eye plucking and, all the crap that they've done between Discovery and Picard. And it makes me wonder if they're mocking the fans by, oh, look, we're going to throw in an eye plucking just to see if anybody talks about it. But the same situation, he's welcome into security. This is a great thing. But Rutherford realizes, because he's looking at the Jeffrey tube, this is not where I belong. This is not where I want to be. And to me, that's what I want to see. That I want to see those kind of storylines. If we're going to do a series of lower Trek, lower decks, I want to see these young ensigns, these young officers just out of the academy making their way. I want to see, I don't mind seeing a kind of an us against them mentality, but I want to see how they make their way through Starfleet as junior officers, which is not something we've ever seen before. But that's not what they're doing here.
Hey, Chef, I kind of think you and I are on the same page where you're going here. And Jack, if I'm not mistaken, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I distinctly recall, weren't you military at one time?
Yes, I'm Navy veteran.
Yeah. Positive candor. Have you ever been military?
Yeah, retired.
Oh, you retired?
Yeah, I did 20 years in the Navy.
Okay, so
I was going to say, I thought
Navy.
you were retired Navy.
Yeah, I'm retired Air Force. I know, Jack, you were Navy, right?
Yeah.
And Chef is Army. And one of the things I think that we would get behind is a Star Trek show that taught the lower areas, the not lower decks versus the way it sounds like is derogatory. Sorry. We were all, as far as I can tell, enlisted, unless anybody went Mustang. So we dealt with a lot of things differently, but we also had to realize, as several of us rose into petty officer ranks and NCO ranks, we had to learn how to both be respectful to our commanding officers and still be mentors to our commanding officers. And when it comes to that issue, and I was going somewhere with this, honestly, when it came to that whole transfer thing, that is a scary thing for a anybody, enlisted young officer, to say, I want to try something different to see if I'm good at it. Yes,
Exactly.
they may have went over the top with how they presented it in the episode, but it still is like when they support it, it's like it's a huge relief for the young
Yeah.
person to have to deal with. Yeah.
As you know, I was a tank commander. So as a tank commander, there are certain expectations that of being a tank commander. When I went to my upper command and said, "Look, I want to do air assault school." Why is a tanker wanting to learn how to jump out of helicopters? Generally speaking, we want to go to master gunner school, or we want to go to master warrant officer motor pool school. I wanted to do air assault. I wanted to jump out of helicopters. That's a different thing. And to have the number one, to have the cojones to go, especially when your officer is talking about how great you are and how wonderful the department is, to say, I like it here, but I want to try something else. Like I said, that was one thing that I really appreciated about this episode, was that expectation about them showing that. And I would. It's funny that as the series goes on, I want to see more with Tandy and Rutherford. I really, Mariner, I don't give a shit about. I think all we're going to see with Mariner and Boimler,
Yeah.
all we're going to see with Mariner and Boy.
All right,
Oh,
as the
let me finish.
as
Hold
the main
on, hold
host
on.
okay.
Let me just finish. Boimler is going to get into these weird situations as the strictly by the book guy, or Mariner's going to get him into those positions and end up getting him out of those positions. That's all we're going to see with him, and it's boring. It's done. If I want to watch Commander from McHale's Navy, I'll watch McHale's Navy.
Amen
but I
to that.
really, with what they're doing with Tandy and Rutherford, I actually want to see more.
Actually, before I pass it off to Positive Candor, Chef Zill, I'm going to be honest with you. That was really, if the whole episode had been exploring 23 minutes of Rutherford trying different positions on the starship, and even if they had made it funny that way, I think it would have been a better episode instead of having the rest of it.
I mean,
He's a more
with that being,
tolerable character.
yeah, Rutherford is a better character than what we've seen from both Boimler and Mariner.
all right, Chef, with that being said, let's let Positive Candor come on. Positive Candor, give your thoughts on the episode. I want you to have your time.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna just call him Soy Boimler, basically. 'Cause that's what he is. He's a soy boy, so I'm calling him Soy Boimler from now on. Because he keeps on getting into messes that only Mariner, obviously, right now can get him out of. And it's already an old trope already, 2 episodes in, and she obviously knows everybody in the frickin' universe, basically, that she can just call up on the fly and come in for whatever situation she needs them for. So that's a trope I see already happening in this, just 2 episodes in as well. She's even more perfect than Burnham, which I...
Like, they couldn't even give Boimler that. They couldn't even give him the idea that maybe he was able to correctly identify Ferengi and Mariner wasn't. Mariner had to have orchestrated it all. It was really dumb.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, everything in this is geared towards, unfortunately, Mariner and Boimler as your A plot, and Rutherford and Tandy as your B plot.
I agree completely.
And
I agree too.
And unfortunately, I want the B plot more,
Because
who wants to hear from a know-it-all during this?
Yeah, right there.
Yeah.
Darth Sweeney, Boromir, or whatever the hell her name is, is
Boy,
Zinzig
Moyer.
Lounge Shoes, and Mariner is Mary Sue with an IQ of a peanut. Yeah,
Now, I'm going to disagree with one thing. I won't call Mariner a Mary Sue because she's fucked up. She has made mistakes. When you look at what we've heard about how she was in the academy to now being demoted, gone through 5 ships, this is her last opportunity, So I won't call her a Mary Sue, but to me, there's not much difference between her and Mikey Spock. I'd burn him.
Agreed.
But I won't call Mariner a Mary Sue.
All right, well, let's hey Shep, let's let Positive Gander finish before I get to
Absolutely.
my rant because I got a minute.
Yeah, I mean, so yeah, and then you portray Klingons as drunken idiots, basically, which is beyond stupid.
Yeah.
And this Klingon is supposed to be, I guess, a high Klingon if he's coming to go in for some peace conference or whatever the hell he's there for. But yeah, this episode and show gets off track by having a side plot that is kind of dumb. Yeah, he steals the shuttle. Oh yeah, he's done that 5 other times that he's stolen the shuttle and whatnot. Oh, you couldn't have told me that beforehand, and stuff like this. So yeah, it's just her setting up basically for all the stupid stuff to happen. And then at the very end, she gets him out of whatever stupid situation that they're into. And yeah, it's already gone way past its course to me,
Yeah.
No, I agree.
I struggled to watch this episode. It took me about an hour and a half to get through the episode because I kept pausing and not wanting, I'll pause, I'll take a screenshot, I'll throw it on Twitter, and I won't want to go back to it. I had to force myself to go back to it and watch the entire episode. Yeah.
And they're just name dropping stuff in there to make the episodes cooler by throwing in Vendorians, throwing in
the member berries.
Yeah,
that's all they are.
Throwing in whatever race that they've mentioned before from the Kalons. Oh, the Kalons. Oh, that's from the Orville.
Yeah, I actually. I'm going to get their Positive Gander when it's my turn.
And I know that the Kalons, yes, they originated on Star Trek Next Generation first. Okay.
Yes.
And it's spelled differently. Okay.
Yeah. I gave that a pass because of that.
Yeah. But still, they name drop Kalons, I think, on purpose because there's no reason to mention them in this episode.
Right.
So that, made me kind of upset. And I've mentioned this in Loki's panel when I was on there. If you listen to the music between Lower Decks and the Orville, it sounds really, really close. The Orville is more slower for the music, and then Lower Decks is, or maybe it's the Orville is a little bit faster for the music, and the Lower Decks is a little bit slower, but it sounds very, very similar to me. Not the beginning of Lower Decks, but once they get into the main music part, it sounds really close to the Orville's title music. And to me, they're stealing everything that they can from the Orville to say, no, we are better than the Orville comedy, and no, they're not.
Not even close.
It seems like they've been trying.
All right, I'm gonna give my. Nah, go ahead, Jack.
Okay. It seems like they've been trying to either copy the Orville or outdo the Orville. Like the Orville, they treat it as a competition. They should just be focusing on themselves, like their own stories, and improving those stories and actually having better writers write them. Because that's the main problem with Trek right now is their storytelling ability is shit. Totally shit. total shit right now. It's the most basic, elementary writing classes that you can take.
Well, I'm gonna put it this way. I'm gonna take a little bit of my time. I'm gonna play the game of politics. I'm reclaiming my time. I'm sorry, I couldn't help it. I'm reclaiming my time. Oh, nice. I got a triple thrown at me. I feel honored, Jack. Okay. At first, I thought this was supposed to be parody, maybe satire. After 2 episodes and a trailer, I still don't know what the fuck this is supposed to be. But I know what it's not. It's not funny. I know parody. I know satire. I've watched Mel Brooks. I've watched real satire, and I've watched real comedy and real parody. Saturday Night Live, In Living Color. You fucking name it. I've seen Star Wars made fun
Blazing
of some of the
Saddles.
greatest comedian giants in the world. And they make it funny. And Star Trek fans love it because it's humorous and we get the joke. There's nothing funny. I mean, not a damn thing funny. First off, I find nothing funny, and I want to go a little bit here. I find nothing funny about making the white guy look like a moron and the black girl who has an admiral father and a captain mother have a little bit of rank privilege and got demoted instead of getting kicked out of the fucking service because come on, we've been in the service. This is the kind of officer we'd have been like, we'd have shot in a fucking foxhole.
They never would have made it through actual Starfleet.
But the thing of it is, we can deal with an idiot white person. Look, Inspector Clouseau is one of the best characters ever written. But within context of how Inspector Clouseau is, he's funny. We get it. But ultimately, even through him being an absolute idiot, if thumbs were brains, he'd be dangerous. He still succeeds. Boimler would not succeed if it weren't for Mariner. And he even needs Mariner to help him set up the thing with the Ferengi to succeed, quote unquote. So it's just
goddamn monocle.
Yeah, well, we got to make fun of what is it, Mr. Moneybags from Monopoly?
Yeah, no, even I don't know. It was just I went in thinking, okay, we everybody wants to sit there and say pilots aren't always that great. Okay, fuck that shit. Pilots grab you. That's what grabs you in this show. The first few episodes, the first season is what gets you in. With this whole excuse that the first seasons are they good? They got to get the first bullshit. I'm not interested in that. It's what we as fans see. We as fans have to be like, okay, there's enough here to make us want to come back. At this point right now, there is nothing to make me want to come back because it comes down to the same stupid shit tropes that is this poor little ensign has no idea what the hell he's doing. He wants to be a captain someday, yada, 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 yeah. Well, you know what? That may sound great for all of you out there who think that all of us enlisted wanted to be, all of us E1s wanted to be E9s, and all of us O1s wanted to be O10s. Guess what? It's not true. Plenty of us never wanted to achieve the ranks because we didn't want to deal with the bullshit.
Dude, there was
a lot of responsibility with that rank.
I was happy to make E6, and after Desert Storm, they offered me OCS, and I told them I would be the worst officer on the planet. I said, I want to get dirty. I'm the one who's sticking my hand and, sucking off the donkey dick, for my tank. I'm gonna get dirty and muddy. I am not
The
gonna be
fact
an
that
officer.
I know what oh God, Donkey Dick. Well, geez, how many references does that thing have in military?
Oh man.
Okay, I think we've gotten off the rails here a little bit, and I don't want to alienate anybody.
Squirrel.
Let's keep talking about
Squirrel.
Donkey Dick. I'm kidding.
I got plenty of references to my Marine Corps days for Donkey Dick. We can go, but it just I don't know. Okay, honestly, is it satire? Is it a parody? It's not. I don't think it's either. I don't think somebody really sat down and thought about this because I watched it twice. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I just wanted to give it a second shot and say, okay. And I'm like, there's nothing funny. Okay, first off, you don't send a fucking honored general of the Klingon Empire down with a bunch of incense.
Now, playing devil's advocate here, maybe that honored general wasn't as honored as we think he is. We're only taking that from Boimler's point of view. So he's given an opportunity to transport.
Good point.
He's given an opportunity to transport a general. Oh, he's this and that and the other thing. How many second lieutenants have we seen that will jump to the chance of sucking somebody off because they think it's got more than 4 stars. So we only have his word to know how honored this Klingon was.
And when they dropped him off, at the embassy, the lady who picked him up didn't look very surprised.
No. I have to agree with NB on this one. I can watch Galaxy Quest and know it's a parody. I can watch the Orville and know it originated as a parody of Trek. I don't know what Lower Decks is supposed to be. And when you see some of the people on Twitter that are saying this is canon, it's supposed to be taken as canon, how can I take this series seriously? I just look at it as ultimately it's not funny if it's meant to be funny. And
all right, hey guys, hold on a second. I'm good with I finished my little rant aspect. I know we all done, but I want to make sure Positive Candor has time to voice his opinion. So,
absolutely.
Positive Candor, do you have anything to bring in?
Yeah, I wish they would cancel this immediately.
You're not going to get an argument out of the rest of us.
Yeah, but don't talk about cancellation because then everyone's going to pretend that you're lying about stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I know it won't get canceled, but it's going to at least do its one season, and hopefully that'll be all we that they do. But who knows with CBS nowadays? I don't know.
Well, I mean, like I said, when it comes down to it, though, guys, let's kind of go around table here on this. Let's cut our previous love of prior canon of Star Trek out of the way. Let's just cut that out. Let's cut even STD and STP. No, seriously, think about this. Who did the marketing people think this was going to appeal to? And if you in the chat have any idea that we don't, please put it out here. We'd love to hear. Positive Candor, we'll start with you, then Jack Beers, then Chef, then myself. But the serious thing is, Positive Candor, we'll start with you. Who do you think this was supposed to appeal to?
Well, I think they wanted to appeal to Trek fans, but the way this is made and the animation and everything, there's only one group that might possibly like this, and that's your preteen or early teen group to me. Right. Because they have such a short attention span anyway. that they might say, "Oh yeah, it's funny for what it is" or whatever. But yeah, that's the only group I can think of that it fits into slightly. Because yeah, if you're a Trek fan, then yeah, there's no way you can possibly like this.
All right, Jack, your thoughts.
Taking everything out of taking everything out of the equation, like you said. Uh, it's kind of hard for me to tell because they want to call it a comedy, but in the bridge simulation that they did in the command part that I can't remember his name, Cyborg.
The daycare thing.
Yeah, where they're talking about, oh no, all the children have been blown out in space, and as if that's supposed to be funny. I mean, I didn't get it. I didn't get it. Like, how's that supposed to be funny? Like, I even try, even though I know it's a simulation, it's not real, so nobody's actually dying. So keeping that in mind, I still don't understand how that's supposed to be a punchline. Like, what's funny about that?
Exactly.
Okay, hold on a second. I'm gonna say this, Darth Haster here. You know what? I disagree. I don't feel like it feels like a teen show because let me tell you something. I've been bored as fuck with TV, and I actually watched on Hulu the first 4 episodes of Doogie Howser MD. And let me tell you something. I haven't seen that show since, the show came out in 1989. I was 9 years old. I barely watched it. And let me tell you something. Those first 4 episodes had more moral and adult content than anything without being preachy. And I was actually shocked. So if that's a teen show, I feel bad for what the teens are watching nowadays. Because they need to watch a little Nick at Night. That's my opinion on that one.
You know what? I 100% agree with you there. When I was a child, I did that. I watched so much Nickelodeon that I went into Nick at Night, and I would watch all those shows until I'd fall asleep. And so, as a child, I had this appreciation for these older shows. Yeah, so I agree with you.
Yeah. I'm just, at this point, I'm trying to figure out, I've even tried to look at, reviews, and even I'm not taking Rotten Tomatoes because I don't trust that shit for
Yeah, I
obvious
agree with you.
reasons.
I'll
So
share the
I
hell out of
go,
the score, but yeah, I do treat it with a grain of salt when I do share it.
Yeah, but you can
But,
look at it like this, that there aren't even a lot of reviews, flat out. No one is watching the
exactly.
show.
I noticed that, Chef. Yeah, Chef, go ahead. If you review that, talk about that.
So this is my thought process. CBS saw how popular Rick and Morty is and decided they wanted to do something in that vein. So their first marketing were towards the Rick and Morty cartoon crowd. Then, and this is where we get the little member berries. Then when we talk about Mike McMahon, who allegedly is a Star Trek fan, that's where we get the member berries of, oh, look, we're talking about Andorians, we're talking about Kalons, we're talking about, Worf. Oh, we're going to mention this and that and the other thing. It's all member berries. The true Trek fans are secondary to the broader audience. This series was created for the Adult Swim, Cartoon Network, Rick and Morty crowd. But the sad thing is Rick and Morty actually has a lot more depth and intelligence behind it. There's a lot of nuance hidden underneath the shock value of Rick and Morty. We're getting absolutely zero of that with lower decks. And this is the concept of let's throw enough shit against the wall and see what sticks.
Yeah.
And what's going to end up happening is we keep getting these reports that we're already writing season 4 of Discovery. We're already writing this. We're still writing Section 31. We're still writing this. They're trying to convince everyone around them that Star Trek is under CBS All Access and Secret Hideout, that Trek is a lovely, lively, beautiful thing that everyone on the planet loves. And it's a fucking trash. It's a dumpster fire that the Trek fans like us, the hardcore, in my case, 40 plus years of Trek that are just watching as it's literally like the band playing on the Titanic as the ship goes down. And I'm sitting here just going, okay, let's watch the ship break apart. Let's watch this. At this point, after a season of Picard, I don't even have emotion for Trek anymore. They've already beaten the shit out of me. Now I'm just going to sit back on the sidelines. I'm going to watch the shows because, I don't have to pay for it. I'm using somebody else's account. But I'm just going to go, okay, I'm going to watch the shit run right into the edge of the galaxy and destroy itself. And when end of season 3 of Discovery, Andromeda. Discovery. Andromeda. Discovery.
Andromeda. It's Andromeda. Come on, we all know it's a ripoff.
Yeah, and we're already seeing news reports that Patrick Stewart doesn't want to come back for season 2 of Picard.
He didn't like his ending.
Nope.
Neither did anyone else.
You know why? Because Patrick.
Well, we can hold that for another episodes, but hey, we're coming up on 41 minutes, and let's go ahead and call it a night. And I think we've really tore this apart about as good as we can.
We got to talk about Jerry O'Connell. Please,
Jerry O'Connell. Come on, I love the guy. I can't beat him up, even though sucks in this.
Come on. We've got to talk about this. We've got
I will give him this.
All right.
I'll give him this.
You got to count the clock. 15 minutes, we talk about Jerry O'Connell.
All right. So here is the tweet. I'm going to read the tweet, and then we can talk about this. Here's Jerry O'Connell. Let's review the data. Seems to be for every 40 people who liked, only one dislike. That is almost 7 of 9. Granted, not bullseye, but we're not an archer here. I would say we are crushering it. Might be time for you to take a pike. Everything is Chakotay. To me, that tweet lands about as well as any joke we've seen in 2 episodes of Lower Decks.
I remember Jerry O'Connell was supposed to be on he was supposed to be doing a show where he was in Canada, and he was a Hollywood actor from Canada. Big surprise. And he went up there and he did 10 episodes, and I guess the show got canceled. And let me tell you something, I watched the first episode and I'm like, Jerry, this ain't your Slider's best, buddy.
I love the man. So I don't want to speak ill. I mean, he was respectful to STD stocks, at least. I will give him that. He was wrong in his assessment, but he was respectful. And he also followed up later on saying something like, I'm just a visitor. This is yours. And I won't forget that, or something like that. It was actually really nice. So I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. But yeah, his assessment was wrong, and it was very cringeworthy.
Yeah,
very
it really was.
It was. To Captain Trek, hardcore Trek fans are considered expendable. We're aging and dying, so they do not care. I understand his point of view to a point, but let me tell you something. It was a 40-something-year-old woman, 40 something year old 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 who my grandmother, who got a 7-year-old child into Star Trek. Now, I am a 40-year-old man now. Now, my 13-year-old son may not be totally into Star Trek, but he's into Orville and has watched both seasons at least 3 times. So,
But
you go with evolution.
we are the ones that are buying.
I think there's hope.
Yeah, we're the ones that are actually buying the swag. I mean, I don't know if you can see, but I've got an entire shelf of Star Trek.
Very
We're the
impressive.
ones.
I've been staring at that thing.
We are the ones that are paying the money for the books and the models and the memorabilia. And look at Discovery. You can't give that crap away. Nobody wants it. There's no Picard. Where's the merchandise for Picard?
Where's the Rocky action figure?
Yeah, I want one. Where can I get one?
Where's the Admiral Clancy action figure?
that has the voice? You can push a button and it says sheer fucking hubris.
Exactly. You read my mind.
Actually, if they released that, I would probably buy that one just for that reason.
Fuck that.
Maybe.
The only reason you'd buy it is to do like our childish fantasies where we take something we don't like and we burn it in a microwave. That's where it would have gone. You know I'm right. You damn well know I'm right.
I'd be playing pure fucking hubris while she's burning in effigy. Yeah, but that's the
hey, you know what though? This is where the problem is with this kind of show. The whole lot of TV is audience, and yeah, there's hundreds of shows, there's hundreds of audience. I mean, you got to figure out where your audience is, and then your budget is catered to your the number of people who watch you. That's how you're gonna get there. Some people expand, some people don't. It's fun. But when you come to this and you're like, okay, you're talking about doing a parody of... Okay, we've all seen parodies of Star Trek. We're not opposed to the idea of a parody of Star Trek. We just want you to make us laugh.
Nothing good.
Be funny. I can watch.
Exactly.
I have watched Galaxy Quest at least 10 times. I can watch it over and over again, and it's still funny. It's clever.
I love that movie.
That movie is one of the best movies of all time, and I can watch it. And
rewatchability is important.
Yeah, it's on my watch list.
All right, so we're gonna end out here. Before I end out, I'm gonna say this because we have to do one more stream because, well, at least I do, because I promised. I gave my word. So we got to do at least one more. So
I don't even know if I want to watch the last one.
So to put this into perspective, this was a toucan talk. I think episode 3 is going to have to be about 3. Dude, you're drinking natty. Come on. Dude, really? I'm going to send you some real beer, okay?
I'll send you, you know what? I'll DM you my address. You got some real beer. It's not like you don't have my phone number.
Yeah, not like you respond anyway. Shit.
You know why I told you that. Okay, hey guys, listen. Here's the thing. I think we can all agree on this. Positive Candor, Jack Beer, Chef Zilla. We are not angry because they are making fun of Star Trek. We are angry because they are not making it funny. How fucking more simpler can we be? To call us Isserphobes because we don't like the show? No, the show's not making us laugh. We want to laugh.
One of the best SNL skits was William Shatner when he talked to this was in what was it in the 70s on SNL, and it was a joke
Get a
about
Life
him
one?
at a well, he's at the convention. He's telling people to get a life, dude. That was funny. Here's Kirk telling Star Trek fans to get a life.
Shatner
funny.
knows. Shatner knows comedic timing. He understands comedic timing. Definitely.
Yeah,
All right.
make the show
before we
funny
call
is
it
the
a
only
night-
thing I ask for.
All right, let's hold it up a second. We're up on 50 minutes. Let's call it here. Let's start off Monday. I am starting an MCU series. Jack Beers is going to be a part of it. I'm going to spend this weekend. We're going to go through the MCU phases. We're going to do MCU Phase 1. Part 1 is going to be Iron Man, The Incredible Hulk, Iron Man 2. We're going to do a deep dive. Jack is going to be there. Ambassador is going to be there. We are going to have fun. We were supposed to start it this week, but unfortunately, I got under the weather. It happens. Positive Candor. What do you have going on for your channel, buddy?
Well, yeah, I'm going to have to cut back pretty soon, so I'm going to be moving because of a new job and everything. So,
congratulations, buddy.
Yeah, thank you. I got to move pretty far, about 1,000 miles from where I'm at, basically from Florida to Texas. So,
West Texas or South Texas?
No, or close to Dallas. So
okay,
Central Texas.
So, yeah, Central. And this will be the second time I've worked in Texas when I get there. But yeah, because of that, and I start that on the 31st of August. So yeah, starting the 31st, I'm going to cut back into just Mondays and Fridays in the afternoon at 4:30 p.m. Eastern, I guess, 3:30 Central, until I get a handle on what my schedule is going to be like, basically.
Hey, Positive Candor, you take care of what you need to have to first. We're always going to be here when you get back. Don't worry about us. We'll worry about you. As crazy as that may sound. Chef, man, give some exciting news for us, buddy.
Well, I'm about to become persona non grata. So the health department finally talked to me. We're going to see them Monday, which means, knock on wood, we'll start training next week. Restaurant is we're probably, I think we're going to hit our date of a 29 soft opening. Like I said, if anybody wants friends and family, 26th and 27th, I got a couple of tables. You guys get to, be subjected to my cooking. But once we get open, it's probably going to be about a month before anybody even hears who I am anymore. Unfortunately, my laptop is giving up the ghosts, which is why I haven't updated my channel lately. I've got video shot, but I'm having the absolute worst time editing and putting it together. And then, like I said, now that we're coming into, I like to make the joke that we've made it to base camp with the health department. Now it's time to start climbing Everest, and that's where we're at. I'm going to be training kitchen staff, training service staff, training bar staff, and I'm going to be open to close for about 6 weeks. So you may not hear much from me.
Hey, we understand it, man. As long you got something way more important to take care of than this.
But
Jack, you got anything you want to add?
No matter what, I'll be with you guys in spirit.
Oh, absolutely. We know that. Jack, you got any final thoughts?
I did want to bring up one thing about the cyborg character. So I noticed that I wasn't exactly sure what his implant was for. It was like to help him see or something like that at first, initially. But now it seems like it can do all sorts of weird things. Uh, he was at that security training, and a bunch of Borg appeared on the holodeck, and he had to like beat up all the Borg or whatever. And he figured out how to do it with his implant, and he effectively did so. He even ripped a Borg's arm off, so it somehow gives him super strength as well. Now, I remember specifically when the episode from Deep Space Nine where Dr. Bashir talks about how he was almost kicked out of Starfleet because they found out that he was genetically modified. I don't know if you remember that, but
No, I do. It was what was it? Something Dr. Bashir
I can't
or
remember the
Dr.
episode.
Bashir, I presume.
Okay, yeah, it's that one. And they explained that he was modified to be smarter than the average human. And then when he went into Starfleet Academy, I can't remember, he either neglected to tell them or he didn't even know, or something like that. And so it came out in the open, and so like his career was on the line in that episode. So they make this whole episode about how you can't really augment yourself unless like it's a disability. Like Jordy's visor is a disability. It's he's fixing a disability. Knob's leg, he lost his leg. The prosthetic is to fix that disability. Other than that, you can't really augment yourself. And it seems like this is a rule that they've broken as well. Is what I wanted to point out. Also, way too much beer. Way too much beer.
No, actually, Jack, that is actually a great thing to bring up eventually. We're gonna have to talk about that offline. No, really, you just brought up a really good contradiction. That's impressive. Absolutely. Sorry, Ambassador. I took my glasses off because the glare, kind of gets annoying after having to look at it. So sorry, I gotta do this every now and again. My bad. All right. Hey everyone. Great stream tonight. We're gonna do it one more time because
the reason why we won't go any further is because the fourth episode is called Moist Vessel, and I don't even want to know what the fuck that's about.
I'm only doing this because I agreed to do it with you, Jack. So, I'm going to do one more episode.
We know you're a masochist.
Go ahead,
We know you're a masochist. You're enjoying the pain. Don't give me that.
Oh, my pain even has limits. Oh boy! All right, look. We have given this show a shot. We have given it a chance. We gave the trailer a chance. We gave the first episode. We even gave the second episode. We're gonna give it a third episode. I think what all I'm praying for is to actually laugh. Not smirk, not giggle. Actually have a full-on laugh. That is going to be the saving grace.
Yeah, put something funny in there. It'll help.
Something funny. I mean, the monogram definitely was not funny.
But I didn't get it because Ferengi despise humans, yet this person is using a human, a human, a human monocle. And why? Like, what was the fucking point of that shit? Like, I don't fucking get it. Like, why would you do that? Why would you take a Ferengi and fuck them up like that? All you had to do is just keep them a Ferengi. You didn't have to keep them a goddamn monocle. You could have just said, hey, okay, we know each other. You didn't have to.
Yeah, they could have, but then they played the stupid game where they were trying to get his ego up, which is basically like,
they should have gave Boimler that one victory. They should have gave him that one victory. They should have just gave him that one. Just that one. But they couldn't.
I agree. All right, let's call it a night, everybody. You know, Purple Valkyrie, Darth Hasser, Chefzilla, Ambassador Wing, Purple Lady, everybody. Thank you for coming in. We are going to end the night, and I'm going to say peace and long life. Thank you all for
Live long
coming
and
in.
prosper.